Hello everyone, welcome to Indirect Productions, where today we're taking a look at, well, you already know, because you clicked on the video. So, before we get into the video, I want to address why I haven't been on my upload schedule, because if you didn't know, I had an upload schedule every Friday. A video came out, and I have been lackluster, to say the least, for a couple of weeks. I haven't been keeping to my schedule, and I'm really sorry about that. School was kind of becoming a thing, so yeah. But yeah, now I'm off on Christmas break, and I got some stuff that I can review. So yeah, and then that'll hold us off until, well, until until Christmas and New Year's, where I review a lot of the stuff that I got during Christmas. But yeah, so let's get into it. So, obviously, we're reviewing the Skullcrawler from Playmates. So, packaging, I'm sure you probably already know what's going on. Godzilla vs. Kong, Godzilla looking very blue, and then Kong right there looking very nice. And then we got the orange city, I'm assuming it's Hong Kong, in flames and stuff. Skullcrawler, battle damage reveal, Monsterverse, Skullcrawler with HEAV, Toho, Legendary, Playmates, Warning, Monsterverse, Skullcrawler with HEAV, some more buildings, Godzilla vs. Kong in the same font as the new title reveals have been for the HBO Max stuff. By the way, I don't think we're getting a trailer on Christmas. Yeah. Back, got a promo render of the Skullcrawler. As you can see, it's different from the figure, because it only has red paint on the head, but obviously on the figure it has a lot more. Godzilla vs. Kong, little synopsis for the film, which you can, I guess, go ahead and read. Yeah, sorry if I sound a little bit grungy. I just got finished watching the season finale of The Mandalorian, Season 2. My throat is not feeling very good, because I was very excited, to say the least. But yeah, Skullcrawler with HEAV, and then you got a little bio on it, which I'll go ahead and read for you. The most dangerous super species on Skull Island, the ferocious Skullcrawler attacks with razor-sharp claws and a whiplash tail to dominate opponents in battle. But yeah, and then you have the HEAV. Got a little bio for that as well. HEAV, Hollow Earth Anti-Gravity Vehicle, or Anti-Gravity Vehicle, yeah. Monsterverse, Toho, Legendary, Playmates, yeah. You got a couple other figures just to collect them all. Got a Kong with fighter jets, so I haven't seen that figure at all. We have Warbat, or Nozuki, whatever they're going with an Osprey, which is pretty cool. And then Godzilla with the Atomic Breath, Kong with Battle Axe, and Godzilla with the Radio Tower. That is the only one that I don't own besides these two, which, again, haven't been released. Godzilla vs. Kong on the bottom, Playmates again. How to assemble the tail, fairly straightforward. And then I'll give you the barcode, because this guy seems to be a little bit more elusive than the other three. But yeah, I'll give you that. So yeah. So yeah, there you go. There's the packaging. So let's get into the Hollow Earth anti-gravity vehicle first, or the HEAV. So you can see not much going on with it. It is a solid piece. There's no articulation to it, which you know, that's fine. That's fine. The only bit of paint on it, as you can see, they painted the window, the windshield. Which, yeah, it's just a little bit of black paint. The sculpt on it is actually fairly good, though. You can see it's hollowed out underneath. But yeah, it's also very pliable. Like, it's very rubber. Like, it's definitely made of a rubber, but it's like it's thick, which I suppose is good. So you know, if it won't break as easily if it's rubber. But yeah, yeah, the sculpting is very good. It's kind of hard to make out, but yeah, like it's pretty good. I mean, there's not much to really say about it. You know, it's fairly large. I don't know if it's gonna be this big in the movie, because I'm assuming that this is in the movie. It seems like a very specific theme for them, for Playmates to make, and for it not to be in the movie. But yeah, I doubt that it'll be like, here it is next to Godzilla, and you can see it's pretty huge. Like, that's way bigger than the Argo. So yeah, again, I don't think that this is accurate to scale with Godzilla, but yeah. Not much else to say about it. It's a cool little vehicle. But yeah, so there's the HEAV. Now, onto the figure. So here it is in all of its glory. So nobody knows really what this Skullcrawler is. My assumption is that this is like the King Skullcrawler, if that makes any sense, because like, you know, maybe Ramarak, who was the big Skullcrawler in Kong Skull Island, maybe that was like the king, and then this is like a female Skullcrawler, you know, red paint or red coloration. And you know, it's like, it's just so much like the females are like 3 times larger than the males. But yeah, I don't know. But you can see like the HEAV scaled up next to it, like, yeah, fairly large. This Skullcrawler is I forgot to get something to get for later, but yeah, I got it. But yeah, I'm assuming that this is like you know, like a, well, no, I'm assuming that this is maybe a male. Then I think I got my analogy wrong earlier. I think that this is a male. And the females are the small ones. But yeah, like, well, we'll get into it later with the size comparisons. But yeah. So articulation, I guess. The jaw can close, not all the way, but it can close, and it can open very wide. Yeah. It looks like there should be a swivel here for the neck, and I don't know why there isn't, but it's not. Like, you can kind of move it a little bit, but it's not like an actual joint. The shoulders, I suppose, can go up and down fairly far, which is nice. And 360 swivel. And then the elbows, I suppose, are also on the same joints. They can go out and in, and they can also do full 360 rotation. So yeah, you can get them in some pretty good poses. You know, you can get them at like a jumping pose, you know, or something like that. Yeah, very nice articulation on this guy. Not as good as Kong, but it's, you know, it's pretty good for what for what they're able to do. And then the tail, uh, you know, in the packaging it's separate, so you have to pop it on. It's easy to pop it on. You don't need like a hair dryer or anything like that. But yeah, it's a ball joint, so you can go, you know, up, down, side to side, and of course swivel. So yeah, that's pretty cool. But yeah, very nice articulation. You can get it in quite a few amounts of poses. This guy, or girl, whatever it is, I don't know. But yeah, very cool. Very cool indeed. Let's do paint. So for paint, there's not much on this guy. You can see they did give it some of that white on its snout. So it kind of fits with the Skullcrawlers in Kong Skull Island, which is nice. And then, of course, you got this red, which goes all the way down to the base of the tail. Doesn't go down onto that, which, you know, I mean, it's whatever. You know, at least it tapers off. Tapers off, which is nice. You can also see there's these lines on it which they individually painted, like they intentionally painted in those. Yeah, so I don't know if those are like scars. I don't think they are because they're on both sides and they look exactly the same. So I'm assuming that they're folds like in the skin, and they just for some reason decided to paint those. Which seems weird, but whatever. You can see they painted the tongue, which is nice pink. And then they actually went really detailed with the eyes. They give it like a goat eye. You can see right there. So it's like the pupil is sideways, like that. But yeah, you can see they gave the eye color a yellow, and then they gave it a black pupil, and it's on both sides. Well, yeah. But that's it for paint. Yeah, for some reason, it seems like they really skimped out on the paint for this figure in particular, because like Godzilla, both of their Godzillas, like they painted all of the nails, like even the fingernails, which are tiny. But they didn't paint the nails for this one for this guy, which is weird. Um, yeah, it's kind of weird, but I mean it's whatever. But yeah, so for action features. I don't know. Battle damage. You got a battle damage piece, which is pretty cool. Sort of a rubbery material. And then you got the exposed spine, I suppose. You can see they didn't paint the actual spine, but I'm fine with it. You know, I just pretend. You know, it's like it's got blood on it. You know, it just got its whole back ripped off. You know, it's gonna be blood all over the bones and stuff. It's fine. Um, don't know if Skullcrawlers actually have like red blood. I don't know if that's a thing. I mean, maybe they did. I thought that they had like green blood. Um, yeah, I don't know. It's been a minute since I've seen Kong Skull Island, so yeah. That's pretty cool. Nice and detailed. Um, so yeah, and you can just slide it on there, and slides on there very nicely, and it covers it up pretty well. I mean, you can clearly see there's a seam, but you know it's covered up pretty well. Not as well as Kong or Godzilla's, but yeah, it's still pretty good. Um, yeah. Let's do size comparisons, I suppose. So this one is probably one that people are going to want to see. Here is the Playmates Skullcrawler compared next to the Lannard Skullcrawler. Previously, our only other Skullcrawler toy. um, yeah, you can clearly see where the victor stands. um, Now, this one, Leonard's Skullcrawler has more paint. Is the thing. You can see it goes the underbelly goes all the way down the tail. It's got green, and the spine, the spine area. They got the white. They painted the entire inside of the mouth, and they also painted the teeth individually, and then they also gave it the pupils for the eyes, and yeah. So it does have more paint, but there's no articulation. I mean, there is a jaw articulation, but it actually broke off on mine, so I had to super glue it back on, so it no longer moves. So yeah, it's a statue now. But yeah, this one actually has articulation, and as you can see, it's a lot bigger. Like it's like Playmates Skullcrawler is like twice the size. See, I mean, this one's taller, but that's because it's standing upright. Yeah. You can also see, like, proportionately, it doesn't really work as well. Like, it doesn't look accurate. Like, this one looks... Oh, this one looks accurate, at the very least. But yeah. Yeah. You even got, like, paint variation. Like, you can see they have a couple of different colors in there. On the underbelly, you can see they got, like, some yellow and then some white. It's kind of cool. But yeah, prefer this one, much prefer this one over Leonard's take, I suppose. So let's get him next to some other Playmates figures. Here he is next to Godzilla with atomic breath. You can see the Skullcrawler again is very huge compared next to even Godzilla. Again, I don't think that this is accurately scaled. If it is, then this is a huge Skullcrawler. But yeah, you can see right there, like, that thing's huge. This thing is really long. I was not expecting it to be this big. Like, this is a big figure. Like, you can see, like, it's at least a foot long. Which, from, like, watching videos and stuff on people reviewing this guy, it doesn't seem like it would be that big. But it is. It's freaking huge. Which makes it even better. Which makes it even better than this one. But yeah. So here it is next to Godzilla. Yeah. Again, we haven't seen the movie yet, so we don't know if this is accurately scaled or not. I'm gonna go with the assumption that it's not, but then that brings in the question if the HEAV is accurately scaled. Like, is it accurately scaled to the Skullcrawler? And then it would be too big for Godzilla. But then there's also the case of if it's accurately scaled to Godzilla, then it's not accurately scaled to Skullcrawler, unless it is. Yeah. But yeah, Skullcrawler is actually bigger. It's not taller, obviously, but it's a lot longer. And then here it is next to Kong. And yeah, you can obviously see who's bigger. But yeah, these two figures pair really well together. Again, I don't think that this is accurately scaled, but still works. You can fudge it. You just pretend that this is Kong Skull Island fight. Just take the axe away. But yeah, so it's pretty cool. They look very good together as well. I think that Kong is still the superior figure, but really good figure, much better than the first attempt from Leonard. But yeah, so that was the Skullcrawler with HEAV. Sorry for not getting a review out to you guys sooner. I am disappointed in myself as well. But don't fret, we're gonna have a ton of stuff to review after Christmas. So yeah. But thank you guys so much for watching. You like, subscribe, post notifications, all that other stuff. Let me know what you guys think of this figure. Do you like it more than the Leonard figure? You do. Do you prefer it over Kong or Godzilla? If that's more your thing. Yeah, leave a comment down below. But thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next Bye.